Close your eyes for a moment and listen. A thin knife rasping across a bamboo rib, paper folding like a small tide, a wick being trimmed, the quick, dry crack of a match. What does a single lantern carry when it moves from a maker's bench into neighborhood dusk? Tonight, we follow those hands and those small fires to hear what light holds.
Welcome to Ancient Echoes. I'm Samnang Bradley, and with me is Rachana Solve. We promise a careful listen tonight: craft, ritual, and the ethics of seeing. Our question: how do these small paper lights stitch memory into an ordinary evening?
Listen closely. The lantern is more than light. It's a stitched-together practice, material choices, a maker's muscle memory, and a community's small ceremonies. We'll look at materials, markets, ritual meaning, change, and how to approach makers with respect.
Before we go into the bench, a safety note. We will describe craft and fuels in broad terms, but we will not give step-by-step flame or construction instructions. If you want to learn, seek supervised paid workshops. Safety first, and consent always.
Let's start with the basics: bamboo ribs and paper. Makers choose slim, flexible bamboo because it bends without snapping. The ribs give a lantern its shape and resilience in wind. The paper varies: mulberry papers, thin rice paper, sometimes waxed sheets for longer life. Each choice responds to light, weather, and who will buy it.
There's also economy behind those choices. Heavier, waxed papers cost more and last longer. Thin paper is beautiful, but ephemeral. Glue and the way ribs are tied, often with thin raffia or cotton thread, affect how a lantern moves when carried in a procession or hung on a porch. Consider this not as a how-to, but as the vocabulary of a craft.
From a cultural standpoint, makers often inherit patterns: geometric ribs, floral cutouts, or painted motifs. Those patterns are memory: a village signature, a family design, or a temple motif reinterpreted. The resonance matters as much as the structure. Patterns tell listeners where the lantern comes from.
Imagine a bench at dusk, a low lamp, ash on a mat, hands moving small, quick, practiced motions. Apprentices stand nearby, sometimes children, sometimes younger adults learning by repetition. Payment norms vary. Some makers sell directly at markets. Others work for a household commission. Seasonal schedules are real. Lantern making surges before certain house blessings or neighborhood festivals.
I remember a market in Battambang where a stall spread rows of tiny lanterns like a constellation. A family paused for 20 quiet minutes, comparing sizes and colors, negotiating price gently. Apprentices sat at the stall's edge, sweeping tiny scraps of paper. Buying directly often means a conversation about a pattern's meaning, about care, and that conversation is part of ethical support.
Let's talk about ritual life. Lanterns appear in house blessings, on small temple evenings, tucked into memorial altars, and carried in neighborhood processions. Colors and placement carry meaning: white for remembrance, certain painted patterns for protection, placement near entrances to invite blessings in. But meanings shift by place and family. Never assume. Ask.
The deeper story is how these lights anchor memory. A lantern hung by a child's school window, a light set at the foot of an ancestor's photo, a line of lanterns along a riverbank. Those images hold stories of protection, grief, and celebration all at once. That layered meaning is what makes the craft sacred to everyday life.
Change is everywhere. Plastic ribs, machine-cut papers, mass-produced lights shipped from afar. They make lanterns cheaper, but they also alter the craft's life. Diaspora communities reinvent lantern making with available materials overseas. sometimes adapting tradition, sometimes inventing new forms that keep the spirit alive in new places.
Sustainability matters. Some communities are experimenting with locally sourced fast-growing bamboo plantations or using plant-based glues rather than harmful adhesives. But the most meaningful change comes from economic support, fair payment for makers, training apprentices with living wages, and curators who route commissions through artisan cooperatives.
Now, some practical field etiquette, short phrases and gestures that center consent and dignity. In Khmer, you can say politely, Som anuyat chran, meaning, may I please? Or simpler, Knyom at thot rup bante, meaning, may I take a photo? Always wait for a clear yes. If a maker asks you not to share location or wants anonymity, respect that and anonymize details.
Offer to pay a small fee for pictures or to buy a lantern when possible. If you host images publicly, ask if the maker prefers their name included or if they want to remain private. And if a design has clear sacred meaning, motifs tied to temple guardians or rites, ask about permission before photographing or sharing.
A quick safety reminder. Never leave an open flame unattended. Keep small hands and children at a safe distance and use stable holders if you place a lantern indoors. If you're curious to learn the craft, seek a supervised paid workshop rather than attempting risky DIY at home.
For listeners in the diaspora wanting to recreate a light at home, adapt materials safely. Use battery-powered LED tea lights for indoor displays. Buy materials from trusted artisan cooperatives. And remember the story. A lantern's power is its meaning, not the flame itself.
Before we close, we invite you to share one modest photo or a 10-20-second clip of a lantern, but only with maker permission. Tag Ancient Echoes and Samnang's YouTube, and we'll curate respectful reels. If a maker asks for anonymity, please honor that, and consider offering direct support instead of public exposure.
Remember, the cultural significance is not for quick consumption. Ask about a motif's story. Pay fairly. Share with care. Those small practices help keep the craft alive and keep communities in control of their own stories.
Listen once more to the bench at dusk, the rasp of a knife, a soft paper fold, a wick adjusted. Each sound carries a choice, what to make, why, and for whom. That's where the richness lies, and that's what we try to honor on Ancient Echoes.
Thank you for sitting with us in this small, luminous quarter of daily life. If you left with one thing, let it be this. Ask first, pay fairly, and listen closely to the maker's story.
Let's unlock the echoes of history together.
In the quiet of night, I whispered my plea, holding her close, hoping for her decree. I called upon spirits, asked them to guide, to take her heart and lead her by my side. So I drew her near, traced her brow so fair, my sight is way. Warm, sacred power, swai, mighty spirit awakened. By the master's right, let her heart be gently taken. Let her follow me now by vow and by sign. I hear these words, oh teacher, witness this plea. Oh, my sacred power, swai.